The question about what we know about student learning now, and especially in context of some of the emerging evidence, not in making progress, but that's come out very, very publicly and been more widely distributed in books like Academically Adrift. If I was going to say one thing about making progress and that report, in that it certainly cues off of some of that existing work, but then takes a larger perspective on some of the national data that we have with regard to student learning. Actually, I think a pretty inclusive look at most of the major national things we have with regard to student learning, both engagement surveys and also some evidence of direct assessment from standardized testing. The picture about student learning is, on the one hand, optimistic because we're asking students what they think they know and what they think they can learn, and they are pretty optimistic indeed about those skills. When we begin to match that with some of the direct evidence that we have on a very small and confined number or set of learning outcomes, the picture looks much different, and it looks far less convincing that students are actually learning things. I think the thing to stress more than anything, looking across that report as a whole, and certainly across the kinds of evidence that we have, is this is the evidence that we have. I think what we really need is much better evidence, much better data that more fully captures not just students' demonstration of learning, but across a far larger range of learning outcomes. If you go back and think about using the LEAP initiative, what campuses tend to be committed to, it's a more robust set of learning outcomes than just writing, critical thinking, and problem solving. And to get at aspects of personal and social responsibility, integrative and applied learning, higher levels of mastery, certainly developmental nature of that learning, we will need more robust forms of data. So we have a picture of how it looks now. I think that encourages us. I hope it motivates us to want to do better. But I think part of that doing better process isn't just doing the things that we're doing in the classroom a little bit better, or using more high impact practices, for example. I hope we do more of that too. But I think what it's also going to be coupled with is better and more meaningful forms of assessment that are capturing a larger set of learning outcomes and across a far larger range of developmental progress.